Hello everyone. In last video we have discussed about meaning of business law and its sources. In this video we are studying part of our syllabus, that is Indian Contract Act 1872. Contract Act came into existence on 1st September 1872. Once again I will repeat, Contract Act came into Indian Contract Act came into existence on 1st September 1872. Before 1781, the Indian peoples were using the English common law with some modifications suited to Indian conditions for any cases. Before 1781, Indian peoples were using only the English common law because there was no separate law for Indians, with some modifications suited to Indian conditions. But this led to many inconveniences. So after 1781, to separate 1781, Indians were using only the English common law for any cases. But after 1781, okay, two separate statutes or acts were passed. That is Hindu law and the Mohammedan law. The Hindu law was applied to cases where both the parties to the contract were Hindus. The Mohammedan law was applied to cases where both the parties were Mohammedans, where one party was a Hindu and other party was a Mohammedan. The law of the defendant was applied. When the two parties were Hindus, Hindu law was applied. When the two parties were Mohammedan, uh, Mohammedan law was applied. And when one party is Hindu and the another party was a Mohammedan, the law of the defendant was applied. Okay, what do you mean by defendant? Okay, in the court or in the legal sense, okay, in the case of court, there are two persons. One is the defendant, another one is the plaintiff. Defendant is a person being sued, the person who is being sued, okay, the person on whom the case is filed. Okay. Plaintiff, the person who file a case. Okay, in Kannada, defendant is nothing but prativadi and the plaintiff is a vadi. The person who file a suit, he is a plaintiff. The defendant is a person on whom case is filed, it is a defendant. Okay, when two persons are, one person is, okay, next. But this Hindu law and Mohammedan law were silent on some cases, okay, because means the Hindu law and Mohammedan law could not be applied in some cases. In that case, the English law continued to apply. But after some times, Indian government or Indian people were realized that there is a need of separate law for business transactions in India. After the some time, government or Indian people were realized that there is a need of separate law for the business transactions in India. This realization gave rise to the Indian Contract Act 1872. This realization gave rise to the Indian Contract Act 1872. So Indian Contract Act 1872 is came into existence from the 1st of September 1872. The Indian Contract Act 1872, it mainly deals with the general principles of the law of contract or general contract, that is the different stages in the formation of the contract. What are the main stages for the formation of the contract? What are the essentials of the contract? Who are the parties of the contract? And the performance or breach and the remedies for the breach of the contract. Okay, all these things included in the Indian Contract Act 1872, mainly the general principles, essentials, parties, and the performance of the contract, breach, and contract. And one more thing mainly deals with the Indian Contract Act, some special contracts also, such as contract of indemnity and guarantee, contract of bailment and pledge, and the contract of agency. All these contracts also dealing with in Indian Contract Act 1872. Next, now first we'll see the what is the meaning of contract. See the definition. Section 2, subsection H of the Indian Contract Act 1872 defines a contract as an agreement enforceable by law. Section 2, as per the Section 2, subsection H of the Indian Contract Act 1872 defines a contract as it is an agreement which is enforceable by law, which is as per the law. See the meaning. Contract is an agreement between two or more parties which is enforceable at law. Contract is nothing but it is an agreement between the two parties, but it should be enforceable by law. Enforceable by law is nothing but it should be as per the law, or it should be as per the legal. There should be a legal obligation. There should be a legal things. If there is no legal matter, then there is no contract. Contract is an agreement, but there should be two things. Mainly it is an agreement and there should be a enforceable at law. It should be a legal obligation. There should be a legal matter. Okay. In the words of the Halsbury, okay, one more definition. Contract is an agreement between two or more persons which is intended to be enforced by the other party to do or abstain from doing some act. It's nothing but contract is an agreement between the two parties and it should be enforceable at law, and there should be at least two parties. One person is to make the offer, that person is offeree, another person is to just accept that offer, acceptance, okay, for the purpose of to do or not to do, or abstain from doing something. Okay, so we'll see one small example for the contract. Okay, there are two persons, person A and person B. The person A agreed to sell 100 kgs of rice to person B for rupees 35 per kg. There is agreement between the person A and person B. As per the agreement, person A have to sell or have to send 100 kgs of rice to person B for rupees 35 per kg on certain date. This is a contract between A and B. This is a contract because there is a agreement between the two parties and it is enforceable by law. Enforceable by law is nothing but if any person is not going to do his duty, means that person can file a sue on another person in a court. If they, for example, in this example, person A have to send 100 kgs of rice to person B. It is a duty of the person A. And what is the duty of the person B? He have to pay 35 per kg, means 35 into 100 is nothing but 3500 he have to pay for person B. Okay, if a person A send pay 3500, means in that case person A can suit a case on person B. This is legal obligation. It is enforceable at law. Okay, so contract is nothing but it is an agreement between two parties which is enforceable at law. Next, we'll see the elements of contracts. There are mainly two elements of contracts. First one, an agreement and legal obligation. We already discussed it, right? To become a contract or to create a contract, there should be a two elements, that is
elements of contract. First one, an agreement. Okay, an agreement. Second one is the legal obligation. An agreement, it is a promise, or an agreement, it is a an agreement, it is a promise or set of promises, that is promise made by one or more persons to the other to do or not to do something. Agreement is the sum total of offer and acceptance, that is agreement is equal to offer plus acceptance. So to create a contract there is a need of two elements. Okay, the elements are an agreement and legal obligation. So what do you mean by agreement? Agreement is nothing but it is a promise between the two persons. It is a promise between the two persons. That promise is made by one or more persons to do or not to do something, to do or not to do. The contract agreement may be in the positive way or in the two parties. Agreement is a sum total of offer and acceptance. Agreement includes offer and acceptance. One person is making offer, another person have to accept that offer. For example, person A and person B. The person A is making an offer to send 100 kg. That person B is agreed for that, right, to pay 3500. So offer and acceptance. Okay, the main two things remember under the contract: offer and acceptance. And second one is the legal obligation. The agreement must create legal obligation. Already discussed it. Legal obligation is nothing but it should be as per the law. The agreement must create legal obligation means enforceable by law. It should be as per the law. For example, in previous example, person A agreed to sell 100 kgs of rice to B for rupees 35 per kg. This is create legal obligation. It's enforceable by, it's as per the law. Okay, nothing is illegal in that case. But if the person, for example, person A agreed to give 100 rupees to person B for if person B kill person C, that is against the law. The murder or killing a person is against the law. It's not enforceable by law. So the agreement must create legal obligation. To become a contract there should be an agreement, and that agreement should create an legal obligation. It should not be a social obligation or should not be any illegal obligation. Okay, this is about the elements of contract. Next we'll see the kinds of obligations. Okay, there are two kinds of obligations. Legal obligation we already discussed, right? Legal obligation is a legal bond or tie which imposes upon a definite or persons the necessity of doing or abstaining from doing a definite act or acts. Legal obligation is nothing but there should be a legal bond between the persons. To become in contract there should be a legal obligations. There should be a legal relationship between the two persons. If a person is not doing any act or any responsibility in the sense of the contract, means he can sue on another person, he can take any actions against him through the court. If a person can take any actions on another person through the court, means it is a legal obligation. That is social obligation. What do you mean by social obligation? Social obligation is not a illegal obligation, it's a social thing. Okay, legal obligation is as per the legal or as per the court. Okay, what do you mean by the social obligation? A social obligation is an obligation or duty which relates to social, domestic, religious or moral affairs or matters. Social obligation is an obligation or a duty which relates to social matters or domestic matters or religious or matters or friends matters or the relatives matters, moral or the any other matters. Okay, social obligation. Okay, we'll see the one both the kinds of obligation with the example. For example, legal obligation. Okay, legal obligation, the last example, person A and person B. Person A agreed to send 100 kgs of rice to person B for rupees 35 per kg and on certain date, and person B or legal obligation. It's a contract. Okay. So what do you mean by social obligation? Social obligation means there is no any, only the matters relating to the social or relations. For example, if a person promised to attend a dinner at his friend's house, or if a person promised to attend a puja ceremony at his friend's house, or if a father promised to pay rupees 100 a month to his son for his personal expenses, or if a husband promised to pay his wife rupees 200 per month for her expenses, it is only a social obligation. If there is non-performance of a social obligation, the aggrieved part cannot take any legal action against the party in default for the breach of agreement, because in the case of social obligation, legal action is not contemplated by the parties. Under the social obligation is nothing but, for example, if the person promised to attend the dinner party in his friend's home, a particular person is promised to another his friends to attend a dinner party in his friend's home, it's a social obligation, right? It is a matter of social, or it is a matter of friendship. Or a father promised to give rupees 100 per month to his son for his expenses. Under the social obligation, if any of the aggrieved party cannot take any legal actions for the non-performance of the duties of another party, he cannot take. For example, if in any 1 year, in any month, father is forget to pay 100 rupees for his son for expenses, means the son sue on another party for the non-performance of the duty. Okay, if the person, for example, a person called Ram, he agreed to attend the dinner party in his friend's home, that is Sham. Okay, Ram is a person, he agreed to attend the dinner party in Sham's home. Sham prepared many items for the Ram, but Ram, for some reasons, he is not able to attend the party. Okay, now all the foods are waste. So, but Sham cannot sue on Ram, or cannot sue on Ram in court for the non-performance of his duties, because this is a relation between the Ram and Shams, are their friends, right? So social obligation means there is no, the person cannot sue on another person in court. This is about the kinds of obligations. Okay, and some other important topics we'll see under the contract act. Okay, all agreements are not contracts. All agreements are not contracts. Okay, we already discussed, to become an agreement, there should be an offer and acceptance. And all agreements are not contracts, but all contracts are agreements. How? See, to become a contract, okay, to build a contract, there should be a legal obligation. But to create an agreement, there is not need of the legal obligation. Okay, the agreement may be legal or illegal. Okay, we can create an agreement. All agreements are not contracts, but all contracts are agreements. For example, all agreements, for ready to pay 10,000 rupees to person A. Okay, it is an agreement between the A and B, but it's not the legal obligation. It's an agreement, right? It's an agreement, but it's not a contract. So all the agreements are not contracts. Only the agreements which create legal obligations, these are the contracts. Okay, but all the contracts are the agreement. To create a contract, there is a need of the agreement and the legal obligation, right? So all the agreements are not contracts. Next one, agreement is a wider term than the contract, right? Agreement is a wider term, right? Why? Agreement includes all the contracts, right? So a contract includes only the agreements which are legal enforceable by law, legally enforceable by law. But agreement is a wider term. Agreement means it includes the legal or the illegal and social agreements, anything. But contract means only the legal obligations. So just keep in mind the main difference between the agreement and contract. Agreement means any agreement or any dealings between two persons, but to become a contract should be a legal. All legal obligations do not constitute contracts. All legal obligations do not constitute contracts. Sometimes to create a contract there should be a agreement, there should be a legal obligations. Both are important. In third C, all legal obligations do not constitute contract. If there is no agreement, if there is only legal obligation is there, means it cannot constitute a contract, it cannot create a contract. There should be a legal obligation, there should be a legal there should be agreement, there should be a legal obligation. Only the legal obligation cannot constitute an contract. Next one, see what are the differences between an agreement and a contract. We'll see some what are the main differences between an agreement and a contract. Under the agreement, every promises or set of promises forming consideration for each other is an agreement. Any promises or any dealings between two persons, if there is any consideration, it constitutes an agreement. But under the contract, an agreement, it should be enforceable by law. Agreement is the sum total of offer and acceptance. Agreement is equal to offer plus acceptance, but contract is a sum total of agreement and legal obligation, or it should be enforceability at law. Agreement is equal to offer plus acceptance, so contract equal to agreement plus legal obligation. Next, an agreement may or may not create legal obligation relationship, but whereas a contract necessarily creates a legal relationship. Under the agreement may or may not create legal relationship, but under the contract it's necessary to create legal relationship. An agreement, all agreements are not contracts, but all contracts are agreements, already discussed. And next one, an agreement is not a concluded contract, whereas a contract implied a concluded agreement. Yeah, an agreement is not a concluded contract. Agreement is not a fully contract. It is a part of the contract, because to become a contract there is need of the agreement plus a legal obligation. So agreement is not a concluded contract, whereas contract implies a concluded agreement, but contract included a concluded agreement. Contract include full of the agreement, but agreement is not a concluded contract. This is about the main some other topics under the Contract Act. Okay, we'll see the next topic under the next video.